Can't get enough of Kelly and Ramya?
We're now on YouTube for you to indulge in highlights from our show. So it's time for our monthly kind of science center, museum, arts, spaces and venues update. We've really tossed in everything into this spot on Thursdays. And today we're learning about a local natural history museum, and it's called the Lynn Canyon Ecology Centre in North Vancouver, BC. And we want to talk more about this venue and everything that's offered here with Isobel Myhill-Jones, who's the graphics and display technician at the Lynn Canyon Ecology Centre. Isobel, thank you for coming on Kelly and Ramya.
Thank you so much for having me.
Looking forward to learning more about this place. So can you please start off by describing and maybe introducing the Lynn Canyon Ecology Centre to our viewers and listeners? What is it? Where is it located? What's the feel of it?
Yeah, for sure. So the Ecology Centre, as you said, we're located in North Vancouver, BC, in the beautiful Lynn Canyon Park. We're on the traditional unceded territories of the Squamish Nation, the Tsleil-Waututh Nation, and the Musqueam Nation. We're operated actually by the District of North Vancouver under their Parks Department, and we're a small nature museum. Really, our aim is to educate people about the local places, animals, plants around them. The word ecology actually comes from the Greek word oikos, which means home. So if you think about your home, often you think of, your house, but it's actually everything around you and everything that you connect with around you outside too. So whether or not our visitors are local or from other parts of Canada or around the world, we just want them to be inspired to learn more about their home, their ecology. Yeah.
Wow. I've always liked that, when you kind of can name a flower or you hear a bird, you say, oh, I know what bird that is. And that's always fascinating and so unique to your area, your neighborhood, even possibly, and the things that tend to be there more. And that can be anything. Can you talk a little bit about your work specifically and how come, what makes you so passionate about it?
Yeah, for sure. I think your statement kind of tied that in together, just being able to name the things around you. And I love that I work here at the Ecology Centre. We have a pretty small staff team. So I work with the displays in the museum itself. I actually build displays. So I could be doing something like plastic pollution displays where we're building a 3D model out of donated plastic pollution that people have collected from local beaches. Anything from that to actually leading people on programs, going out into the forest, finding a banana slug and getting kids and adults excited about that. Every day is different, and I really love it. And I love all my coworkers as well. They're great.
I just love that excitement, because if you have that excitement and you're showing someone the banana slug, look at this guy, and the kids are, but look at him. Oh yeah, it's amazing, right?
Our favorite phrase is to say when someone says, we always go, you say, interesting.
Yes, at least say something. Look at this tree gum, whatever it is, right?
That's awesome. I want to go back to what you said about, like people, what is it that they're picking up at beaches and bringing through? So there's obviously the educational aspect. People are coming to this spot to learn, but is there kind of that community involvement in what gets showcased, what kind of programs are being run, that interactivity?
For sure. So that project I mentioned, we actually had volunteers. So they volunteered building the new display, but also volunteers who went out into our local communities and did litter pickups. And then we washed and cleaned all that plastic to include it in one of our new displays. So we have volunteers helping with our displays, volunteers out in the park with litter cleanups. We also have volunteers who come and help out with our programs with kids. There's all sorts of community involvement for sure.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Do you see that around not just Canada, but when I listen to you describe this and the involvement, the community, the area, and showcasing it really is, to me, what you're doing, I stop and think, well, how many places do I know that do that? We bring different organizations on and stuff like that, and we're getting a lot of information on different things around the world, different time frames there, but not a lot of people, organizations are doing that this is what's around. It's literally like, okay, guys, this time we're focusing on this. Go out into the streets and find it. And I kind of love that. Or go look for this. This is what we're after, and we're going to tell the stories of this. Is this something that you guys find yourselves fairly unique doing, or am I missing something that maybe I overlook because I don't think about it that way?
Yeah, I think, community involvement, people who care about their communities, the aspect of also caring for your environment within that, I think is so tied together. Like if you're out there caring for the people in your community, you can also be caring for the people and the plants and the animals and everything that's there. It's kind of a, respect for all kind of thing. Very, very linked.
Yeah, of course it
makes
is.
sense.
Yeah. And it's, like this, right? Where when you take part in a project, you already feel more invested, more like you're a part of the bigger picture of it.
For sure.
So, Isobel, describe some of the fall programming you have, because we're very excited to send people your way and just raise the awareness about this awesome place.
Yeah, we have all sorts of fun events coming this fall. We run things for all ages, families, kids, teens, adults. One of our free programs is our bi-weekly Treetop Tales story time for preschoolers, and families can come and listen to a story about nature, sing some songs. We have Discovery Days, which are programs for families on the weekend where you can get a guided forest adventure, learn some new facts about plants and animals. We also have our ever popular mushroom identification walks, where we take you out in the forest with mycologists, and they'll help identify mushrooms, and you'll learn more how they're important for the forest. And then, of course, we have birthday parties on the weekend. We run field trips with schools, and like you said before, we like to gear what programs we're doing based off of what people are interested in. So if we hear from the community they want more bird walks, then we try and do that. And like I said before, mushroom walks are always pretty popular.
Yeah. As a blind person, I'm always noting what I can go and do, what's there to touch, what's there to hear. And we're noticing as we have these conversations with people, the trend that there is a little more. Now, there'll be days where no, don't touch, just look. And there's a lot less of that now. There's more. Everyone has joined on to the put that in their hands, let them feel what this is like. Oh, it's squishy. Whatever it might be. So can we talk a little bit about not only the things that we could touch, but also what we can see there if we come for a visit?
Yeah. So I think maybe I'll start off with what's actually inside the nature center itself, inside the museum, and then I'll touch on our programs as well. Our museum, I think the first kind of sensory experience you get when you step inside is the woodsy smell, which I love. The Ecology Center is actually over 50 years old, and the sidings of the inside of the Ecology Center are made with local wood. So it kind of still has that fresh cedar smell when you come inside.
That sounds lovely.
It's very significant. Kids always remark about it. They're like, "What's that smell?" And we're like, "It's the trees." And then as you go throughout our displays, we have 5 different wings inside the Ecology Center. It's actually shaped as a dogwood flower, which is our provincial flower here in BC. So those 5 different wings have interactive displays. In our mushroom wing, you can see lots of different things. We also have cones from trees around North America that you can pick up and feel. Some of them are bigger than your head, which is which is fun.
Oh my goodness.
And then in our animal wing, we have our Making Tracks display, which has tracks you can feel of different animals. So getting a size and figuring out what different footprints are like. We have horns and antlers you can pick up. One of my favorite ones is the bison horns, which are really heavy. So I'd like to get people to imagine if they were a bison and carrying that around with them all day.
On your head.
On your head, exactly.
Yeah,
and then we have
neck muscles. Wow.
I know, right? I'm glad I don't have to do that. Yeah, and then we have our a wing about humans and our connections to the world and our impacts and what we can do. A kids wing, and then a theater where we have live streams of animals from across the world. We have a magnifier, and then we have all sorts of nature films. And one of the things I love about the Ecology Centre is because we're a smaller museum, entrance is by donation. Our staff are always there, happy to help you answer any questions you have, happy to guide you around, show you things, pick up things, explain. So you kind of have the opportunity to get that one-on-one interaction with a naturalist.
Yeah, I mean, this place sounds like a dream for kids and adults. Just all kinds of learning through touch, through scent, through all kinds of things. But Isobel, I'm so curious what you would consider the most, or like what comes to mind as the most kid-friendly thing you offer, and why is that?
Ooh, that's tricky.
I know, you've mentioned so much.
A whole wing devoted to kids' activities.
Okay.
And so I'd say I could round it down to two most popular things. Our nature sound card machine. That's always asked for by families. You run these cards through a slot and they play the sound of the animal.
Nice.
And then that gets a lot of kids doing their animal impressions, which is great. And then I'd say our puppet theater is a big draw. We have a whole bunch of puppets you can borrow. And I love listening to families and even adults, I'd have to say. They enjoy just as much as the kids acting out some frogs and
Wow.
bugs or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And what a way. It's just so tactile, so get involved. I'm still back on the smell, thinking of the treetop tour and smelling the inside and just like, I'm really there. I'm in the trees.
I'm glad you're here. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
we want everyone to feel that connection to the forest for sure.
Wow.
Anything
Anything else accessibility wise that we might want to, I mean, we've asked you a lot and already we're like, oh my goodness.
I'd say another thing, well, the whole museum itself is wheelchair accessible. In those different displays that are interactive and tactile and you can touch, we also have these discovery drawers in our kids area where you can reach in and feel some different shapes. And no matter who you are, you have to guess and try and figure out what they are. And then on top of all of our displays and exhibits inside the center, we have all our programs outside, which we really adapt to suit whoever is coming and whatever they're interested in. In the park itself, there are stairs, so we can adapt programs to go on flatter trails, or we can adapt programs to have more hands-on tactile activities. Like you mentioned before, just feeling different things. I think everyone in our programs, we encourage them to feel the moss and feel the dirt and really get hands-on with the forest, because I think that draws us nearer to the environment around us and really makes us care for it if we know it.
It's just a more full experience. That's very, very true. Isobel, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for enlightening us on the Ecology Centre.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate your time. We were speaking with Isobel Myhill-Jones, a graphics and display technician at the Lynn Canyon Ecology Centre. That's in North Vancouver, British Columbia. Go and check it out, or at least check out their website so that you can get to know more about it, because it sounds like a fantastic place to spend your time. Thanks for watching.
You can catch Kelly and Ramya weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on AMI.